Gemini placements. Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's do you a reading. Let's see. Someone here wants to offer you, they want to offer you something in order to be back in your life. This is someone that you dealt with, someone that maybe ghosted you, they left you behind, or they just left you with no explanation as to why they stopped talking to you or being with you. And I feel like they want to offer you like a truce, or offer you like a gift in order for you to accept them back. When things get tough for this person, especially in the past, when things got tough for them, they found you, or they would go to you to find some type of logical explanation or some type of support through you. This person, the reason why they're coming back in your life, or at least going to try, is because something happened to them. This tells me that this person will only come find you when things get rough, and when things get good, that's when they disappear. So maybe they have done this before. I'm not sure if this is the first time they've done this to you, or if they have done this before. But that's what's happening here. They have gone through something that is making them want to reconnect with you, to either help them or support them or distract them from what they went through. And they're not going to come in empty-handed. So there is an attempt to be on your good side. If you have been involved with this person romantically before, they might even try to make a move on you romantically. They might try to kiss you or say like, I miss you, and try to get physical with you. Get intimate, I should say. They do not want to talk about the past. So if they go back to you and you say, hey, but why did you do that to me? Why did you leave me? Or why did you disappear? They will avoid the conversation, or they will change the subject. It's like, can we not talk about that? Can we tell me, how are you? Like, they will try to change the subject. Because, I feel like this person doesn't have much to say about that. Meaning that if you ask them, why did you leave, or why did you do this, they don't really have anything to comment on that. So they will try to avoid that conversation. It's almost like they want to pretend that nothing happened between the two of you. Can we just pretend that we didn't separate, or we didn't stop talking? Gemini, you know that you cannot rely on this person, right? Right. You know that you can't rely on this person because there is the possibility that they're going to do this again. Meaning, the moment they get better, if you accept them back or if you start talking to them again, the moment things get better for them, they will disappear. Maybe you already know this, but let me just remind you. You know that this person's promise is like bullshit, right? They do not keep promises. I'm not sure if they are immature or young in age or whatever else, but they do not keep promises. They are not the type of person that will honor their word. So Spirit is letting you know that you could be wasting your time with this person, especially if you think that, yeah, just keeping them as a friend or keeping them as, I feel sorry for them, so I'm going to keep them around. Yeah, well, it's enabling this person's behavior. When you feel sorry for someone, even though they have been mistreating you, you enable their behavior. In a way, at least on a subconscious level, you say, it's okay if you want to do this to me again, because I will accept you back again as well. So this is saying, be careful, because if you think that accepting this person back and they're never going to do this again, if you think that's true, then you are deluding yourself. So I guess this is like a soft warning. Spirit does not want you to deal with this person because they can see that they're just gonna do the same shit again. And I feel like, unless you're doing fucking charity, you shouldn't accept this person. If you have, for example, if you want to give them your support with anything in return, or if you know that, hey, I know they're going to do this to me, and I don't mind being treated like this, then it's your life, like, do the charity, right? It's like charity. It's like dealing with someone that is disabled or that is crazy. It's like, how do you expect to believe a crazy person's word or a disabled person's word, if they are mentally unstable or if they are not able to remember, or you can't really hold them accountable, right? This is why criminals will try to claim insanity in courts, right? So unless you're doing charity, Gemini, this is like kind of like letting you know, hey, they're gonna do this again. Okay. Just because you have a good heart doesn't mean that you should allow people to break it and over 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 again, Gemini. Just because you have a good heart doesn't mean that you should accept bullshit. Okay. I want you to think about this. If you have abandonment issues, you should be more restricted or you should be less forgiving when it comes to people like this. Because you could be seeing the situation as, I don't want to abandon them, like I was. So you could feel sorry for them because maybe, just maybe, you in the past were neglected or abandoned, and you don't want to make them feel the same way that you did. Which is like, a great trait to have that level of empathy and sympathy. But you have to remember that your abandonment issues and your fear of being abandoned is affecting your life. So if you have abandonment issues, your boundaries should be even stronger than the average person, because you will be prone to forgive or prone to enable behavior like this because of your abandonment issues. I'm out of breath. Do you understand? So you have to be extra careful if you have abandonment issues. Okay? Because I do see that maybe you've done this to someone before, where you abandoned someone, or maybe someone when you were younger abandoned you. And maybe in your head you're making up for that, for those times. Because you wouldn't want to make another person feel the way you did, or repeat a mistake that you did in the past, so you're allowing this person to abuse you. and your kindness. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Okay. I feel like you owe it to them to tell them the truth. Feeling sorry for them is one thing, but telling them the truth, I feel, will do them more goodness than to forgive them and accept them back. Like sometimes I will say, not helping someone is actually the help they need. Sometimes not helping a person is exactly what they need for them to help themselves and change their circumstance. Because if they constantly rely on others to save them, to get them out of the situations they put themselves in, they will continue to rely on others and not change a thing about their behavior. They will not have like the time or the need to make any changes because there's always someone there to save them. So this is telling you, you have to think twice before saving this person. Because in saving them, you are actually not saving them. They keep on drowning even deeper into the bullshit that they have been kind of like putting on others. When you make someone your responsibility, they will depend on you. Meaning that at some point they will tell you, hey, you got me used to this. You got me used to depending on you. So don't you dare take that away from me. You know? So you have to be careful. I feel like you need to remind this person that they need to change. Or else you won't be there. And if that doesn't work, stop being there altogether. So if you've already kind of threatened, it's like, hey, if you keep doing this, I'm not going to help you next time. And then next time happens, actually keep your word and not help them. Okay? They heavily depend on you. I'm not sure what type of relationship you have with this person. Is this even like relationship? It could be. I'm leaning more towards like a romantic situation. Night, stay away. I'm leaning more towards a romantic situation, but it could be a friendship. It could be a friendship or a family. Because they seem to be very dependent on you. Like, for example, with a friend, it could be like a best friend that continuously gets themselves in trouble and then they come find you when they are in trouble. And when things are good, they kind of do their thing and not even ask about you. Or if it's a family member, this is someone that is like a sibling, let's say. And they always call that sibling when they're in trouble. But when things are good, you know, they don't stay in touch. That's what we have here. So take it as it resonates as to who this is to you. But this enabling of this bad behavior is going to continue until you say no more, or until you say, I'm not going to tolerate this behavior anymore. You know? I feel like this person needs to grow up. Okay, they need to grow up. Maybe they are young and stupid, as they say, right? We've had phases where we were not really thinking about the consequences of our actions. So maybe that's what's happening here, where this person is not really thinking. But that's why they need you to make them feel like no one is coming to save them. So that they will have the time to think, it's like, oh shit, I'm really on my own in this one. I'm going to have to think in order to get myself out of this. Otherwise, I'll be stuck here. That's why challenging situations and challenging times in our lives are important. The bad situations kind of like force us to tap into a knowledge or behavior or strength to get us out of challenging situations, right? So you need to let them have that. Like, this reminds me of, you know, when a parent spoils the shit out of their child, and then they they become like highly dependent on the parent, or they become weird, they don't have sense of a reality. They have like, it's like they are spoiled, and they go back to their parent to save the day, and they continue to fuck up with no sense of rationality or common sense. These types of people are the reason why you have people putting a sign in front of a deep hole in the street to say, stay away, you could fall into this hole, where the common sense is to go around the hole in the ground, right? But some people will some people will fall into the hole and blame others for it. This is why you have health. This is why you have health and safety, because there's a lot of there's lack of common sense, and you have to put a sign in order for them to see that there is a hole in the ground. So, Gemini, you do not need to be there for this person. In fact, this is encouraging you to stay away or to not involve yourself in this. Even if you feel sorry for them, it's okay, it's normal, you're human. I know it's hard, but make the tougher decision here. The tougher decision is telling yourself, if I help them, they will depend on me for that help every time. If I try to stop myself from helping them, yes, it's hard, but they will learn eventually to help themselves. You have to make that tougher decision. Okay? Okay. I feel like this person has potential to change, obviously, because every person has the potential to change, to become better. And if you stand your ground, and if you stand strong in your position of not helping them, they will eventually help themselves. Because I feel like you are the only one that they really depend on. And maybe you know that. Maybe you know that this person doesn't have someone that helps them. But if you jump in and try to save the day, they're going to come to you each and every time, and they will not learn much. They have to pull themselves out of this alone. Okay? And here's the thing, Gemini. This person could be like physically alone, but spiritually they're not. They do have spirit guides. They do have spirits that are helping them, guiding them. They just need to listen. And if there's always a savior around the corner, why do they need to listen to their intuition? It's more obvious to hear the physical or the people around them rather than to hear their intuition, because the intuition can be soft-spoken and it could whisper things, so it requires silence and solitude. So if you think that they are totally alone, they're not. They're not. They do have spirit guides. They do have help from spirit, but you can't see them, obviously, so you could think that they are alone and they're gonna drown in sorrows. No, not really, no. They will be okay. I don't know why I'm getting that there could be karma between the two of you. and you not helping them is part of you, or is part of you passing the karmic contract. There is a cord between the two of you, so it's almost like this person has been put in your life. Not for their sake, not really. It could appear that it is for their sake, but it is actually for your sake. Maybe this is like a lesson for you in regard to strong boundaries, head over heart type of decision. And I mean, Gemini, you should be okay with that, right? You're an air sign for one, you know? So that makes you more prone to make logical decisions. But just because you are like a Gemini, for example, a Gemini sun, doesn't mean that you don't have other placements that influence your behavior. So I feel like there's a lesson here for you. This lesson is about stronger boundaries and respecting those boundaries, or respecting your own promises to yourself. So for example, if you've been telling yourself, I'm not going to accept bad behavior, and then you allow this person to behave like this with you, you disrespect your word for yourself, like you break your own promise. Do you understand? Okay. Again, it doesn't matter if you love them or care about them or not. Not helping them does not mean you don't care about them. Remember that. Sometimes not helping them, it actually means you really care about them and you really want to help them. Because when we help someone, it makes us feel good about ourselves. When you care about someone and you choose not to help them because you know if you help them, you will enable their behavior, then you actually don't care. Wait, did I say that right? So sometimes when you let me rephrase it. So sometimes when you help someone, you do it because you want to feel good about yourself. It's not really about you caring about them. There is the part of that where you care about them, but it's actually for you so that you don't feel guilty, okay? But there are occasions where you really care about that person, but you will still not help them because they need to do that thing on their own. Otherwise, you will take away from that experience. And because you care about them, you won't help them. Now that is not for the weak. Because there is no selfishness and you can live with that decision knowing that their life will be better. Even though it breaks your heart to not be able to help them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Whew. There comes the Hermit. This whole reading is about the Hermit, the wisdom, the philosophy of a wise man, a wise old lady, the Hermit. So this whole thing is about understanding the deeper meanings of things rather than what they seem, or rather than on the surface level meaning or the first value of things. Because I feel like, a lot of people have misunderstandings when it comes to boundaries and, selfish behavior and helping. But in this case, this is telling you the best thing you can do for this person is to not help them. That's exactly what they need. But the question is, do you have the strength and the will to not help them? Because it's not easy. It's not easy. And that's why this reading is here. I feel like, Gemini, one day, if you decide not to help this person, one day this person will appreciate you not helping them. Even if they live to hate you because they will remember you didn't help them when they needed you. But they will come through, or they will come out of this stronger. And they will be grateful for you not helping them. But maybe they will not give you the credit. The question is, can you live with that? Do you care enough about them that you won't take the credit for helping them and still help them improve their life without you being in it? Now that is unconditional love, if you ask me. Because you don't care if this person loves or hates you. You still did the right thing for them, whether they are aware of it or not. And that is true love. Whether this is like true love, as in family, friendship, or lovers. You have to be able to make those tough decisions for the people you care about. Alright, I'm going to pull you another message, okay? The second message is for Gemini extended members. I'll give you a preview of the energy we're taking there, in case you want to join us. I don't know why my camera keeps sliding down. I think I need a new stand because, like, my face is out on my head. Alright, so that was a long reading for you, huh? Let's see. Gemini. You have someone here that is a player. Player energy. Someone that is I want to say they don't think, they do first. They think later. Yeah. I want to say that they could look like they are mature, but they are not mature. I don't know why I'm getting that. It feels like this person could look like they are mature, but they are not. So for example, whether this is in regard to how they look, or maybe they are of age, maybe they are old. You know, some people think they see some grays on a person, or they see like they are old in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they assume that they are mature. No, really. You sometimes will find younger people more mature than some of the grays out there. So just because they look like they are mature does not make them mature. And that's what we have here. Someone here that is very impulsive, very they make decisions based on desire and mood. Okay, we're going to talk about this person in the extended and see where it takes us. The extended link is in the description box. I'll see you there.